The camera's recording.
So I'm just trying to think of like things to talk about. Something this character would talk about. So the one thing I really don't appreciate much about this world is that So the one thing I really don't appreciate much about this world is the fact that money has corrupted everyone's minds. To be honest, a world where we offer services to each other, offer our expertise to one another, and really have a community-based approach to life and for ourselves would honestly be better off for us. And I say that because there's so many people out there that chase their dreams, that chase their passions only to be broken by society's capitalistic approach, and they forget that the skill sets they have to offer, especially the creatives, their art matters. But when they can't make money out of it, it's not good enough. It doesn't make sense. And I guess that's why in my mind I've always had the approach of, don't let the system beat you. You gotta, don't work against the system. You gotta play the system by their own games. And so, in a way, I guess people really just need to approach this world in a way where they're taking advantage of the rules that these people have made against them. Do you not agree? Yeah. I guess it's taken a while for me to get to that point, or to get to that conclusion, to get to that realization, but life just does that to you. Life experience, and it's fun, You gotta go through all those in order to really appreciate what you have in the first place. Even when people don't actually see that in you, or if people don't appreciate what you're creating and what you have to offer. But it's all just a matter of perception, I guess. Well, not I guess, because it's true. But slow, one by one, day by day. Just gotta go through it,
Cool. You've always lived around the beaches? Yeah, in Sydney? Or?
I have. Oh, no, I have not.
Okay.
Yeah, well, I just spoke about life. I just went straight into the deep end.
Yeah.
I grew up in Greater West Sydney. Shout out to my, Greater West people. I only moved to the northern beaches in December.
Yeah.
December. It's been nice. It's been, you know, a change of scenery, different people, a different form of lifestyle, and I guess it's very helpful in, you know, in my creative endeavors. It's very helpful in allowing me to step outside my comfort zone, step outside what I'm used to, step outside my norms of what I saw growing up. And it's fun, you know. It's nice mingling with different kinds of people. And yeah, it's great. I love it. Although I will say though, is that there's some things that you notice that's, you know, a normality in this form of lifestyle that growing up in Greater West you don't really see often. There's definitely a lot more ease of mind living in the northern beaches. There's definitely a lot more first word that comes to mind is freedom. Yeah. I can just do whatever, be whatever, mind my own business. Not to say that I can't do that in Greater West, but it's just a different energy, it's a different vibe, it's a different environment. But it's fun. It's great. I enjoy it so much.
Sydney's like that. It's just different, in each area. Yeah.
Different. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's how it is. In different areas, it's, you know, just have different vibes. Like I remember, I used to live with. I used to live that I went through. I lived in the city. Right?
Yeah.
Like right in Chippendale, in Central. And the reason why I lived there is because I knew that being in that relationship but it really drained me. It took out my core. That relationship took away my core being. I sacrificed who I was in order to be in that relationship and to stick in an environment that really wasn't serving me right. And so I moved to Chippendale by myself in a share house, you know, in the hustle and bustle environment of the city, just so that I could mingle with different people, just so I could be in an environment where, you know, so many personalities come together and just have fun. Because I thought that I would be able to meet new people and rediscover who I was after a relationship drained my core being. And then I met my best friend, and then lived in the northern suburbs, and then eventually in the northern beaches. So you know, everything happens for a reason. Yeah. You can't just get sad over situations that happen to you because it all happens for a reason. And see, that's the one thing I've been trying to like break myself out of in terms of like habits is like, I always say I guess or like I think or like I don't know, and I'm trying to break those habits by saying I know. And you know, I'm not guessing because I just know, you know, I'm trying to be more assertive with myself, with my opinions and my beliefs, you know? Yeah, and it's been a nice journey, and don't get me wrong, I'm only 20 years old, I'm turning 21 in October, I'm a Libra.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been the greatest, I've just been growing and I love it, you know? There's been a lot of bittersweet moments, but again, everything happens for a reason. Yeah, it's fun. I love it. It's enjoyable. Yeah. hard work that you put into your craft. You may think that no one's watching, but really, one person, all it takes is that one person to stumble across your work. And that one person could potentially reach out to you. You just never know. You just gotta let go. You just gotta let go to life. And don't let this human structure that we've created not ground you, but keep you on a leash, keep you in this little box. You really just gotta let yourself go to the life experience, to the human experience. Because that one day is gonna come. That person that you don't think is watching, they're watching, alright? And they're gonna reach out. And then from there on, your life's gonna change. And I don't know, I can't say if your life's gonna change for the better or for the worse, who knows? But I guess that's like the fun in it, right? That's the fun in it. You never know what's gonna happen. And I know to some people that's very scary. To some people that's very, they can't handle not being in control of their own lives. But that's the thing, the more in control you are, the more you're blocking yourself off from opportunities that are gonna benefit you. The more you're blocking yourself off from the chances of meeting people, experiencing new things, and just building your core philosophy about yourself, and strengthening that internal compass, internal compass that you have within yourself, so that your instincts can just navigate you instead of these these societal drilled, societal built logic that you have to conform to. That's not natural. That's expectations that's been given to you of how you should be, how you should act, what career you should be in, what, your ethnic background is from this, okay, you have to conform to this. No. You can be whatever you want. You just strengthen that internal compass within yourself. Because that's where happiness comes from, that's where content comes from. And you don't even need to be like the richest bitch in the world. You don't even need to be the prettiest, sexiest motherfucker out there. It's all subjective, it's all perceptual, But when you have that strong sense of philosophy, that strong sense of internal compass that just navigates you, helps you conceptualize the world in a way that you're content with and in a way that you're able to digest, then of course you're going to be happy. Because you understand the things you've gone through. You understand what's happening around you. And who cares if other people don't understand it the way that you do? So long as you are the one that understands it, and you're happy with the way that you understand things, that's all that matters. See, even the birds, even Mother Nature is like, yeah, word. And these birds, chirping, singing, living their best lives, being carefree, that's confirmation from the universe, from Mother Nature. And she never lies. She never motherfucking lies. So yeah. And that's another thing, is that a lot of people, they got lost in the hustle and bustle of life. They got lost in, they get lost in the societal structure that the humans have created. And they forget that the number one, that people forget that, like, we came out of Mother Nature. She created all this. Mother Nature created us. And humans, because of our human nature, we created this world that we've now lived in. And have a lot of people suffered from it? 100%. But when you think about it, like, back in the days with the indigenous tribes, they had a way of living where they were just one with nature. Of course, they also had their own logic to things, as humans that they've created. But they've also lived alongside Mother Nature. They've lived alongside the environment, and there was balance to that lifestyle. And honestly, that's something that I aspire for myself.
There you go.
Wait. Wait, what performance did I do for when I was in Carhampton? It was like I forgot the dance. Surely I know some Beyonce dance moves. Passage on my plane. Or like, I'm getting too much money. Everybody's mad. Hey. Something like that.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I'll just go dancing. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, maybe like a stretch pose.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm trying to think of other ones. I always do them. Oh, something like. Oh, wait, no. What's something that I always do? It's like. So you gotta be able to dance when you're an entertainer. What else do I do? Oh, the Doja Cat dog. That's all I got.
So you got,
That's all I got in my mind. You can murder one, but you can't take them all away. Let's trade places. This wisdom is only addictive, but it's entirely moral, providing substance to any heaven. But I still think I'm wanting something that I can't have. Once someone wants to grow for the better, they'll be pathetic and ignorant till they're dead and gone. Find me where the wild things are, where time doesn't have a concept. Physical ugliness hasn't taken form. The plains of water stayed still. The mountains rose and displayed themselves. Thunder rolled in, and thy mouth opens up, just to suck up all the wisdom ever in existence. The world kept spinning. Suddenly, thy actions knew no limits. No longer do I know what it is to cry. My heart is on fire. Bushing back my hair, leaving behind a story of poetry. A sound word, a sound word spoke matches melodies to symphonies. I no longer love you from the way of there. Holding hands, our eyes matched in a purge of emotions, never known to poetry, overwhelmed into control. For the light is from her, not behind the bodily figure, from inside. I still don't know what the demons are fighting for. Satan bounce your head is a shame. The sun is mastered by her, and its color is depending on her mood. The hermit smoked ancient heavenly, as if a commoner's laugh at every word he spoke. His visions are still coming true. finding meaning in creating a landscape just for her. Free again, free again. That's all Earth militant want. She's never questioned again, busting and bailing against the mass-produced philosophy that's kept this world in the grips of vice, turning side pieces to women. Jezebel reinvented. Scarlet's letters were a thing of the past. Her single glare punctured the star of Venus. At least it gave us the wishing stars that we spent our time conjuring up better expression of art for her. Clutching to her, after all this time, I was a ghost to her. Everybody hurts like me. Everybody cries like me. And at one point, or perhaps another time, everybody has said the same prayer, word to word. A moment in her presence, wondering no more what angels look like, had to play their game, which reigns true over humanity's ideology. Rule 1 was to get once to act together. Rule 2, when it's time to recall, study rather than worship. Ignorance is for leading sin. And the third rule, worship when fruits are bare and eaten. Knowing someone will always hate. It seems all unimportant now when in the past days they told me to smile. Dear Queen, don't let me don't let me know to die tonight. Will Earth once will be the death of me, she whispers. Holy intelligence heard. Comrades, coming back resurrected. I'll leave this here, so she knows. Tell me, am I wrong? Isn't another person just another uniformed officer being a little too drunk? I had wasted so much time on activism, blaming the other, even presidents to other states, lobbyists, institutions, higher education. The corporation was still as was the corporation will still have human rights, the regulatory body, and poor performances even in small businesses. The force behind the mask interfere in the correction of social utopia. A shift from intent had changed the entire world. No longer poverty inside, wisdom without lacking, empathy, knowledge, actions with ethics, intelligence, intelligence with morals, idolizing thinkers, a charity that produces betterment, education that teaches, government produce healthier structures, the totality of endgame, holiness, humanity's fine line, finite with endless expressions. One's net worth can easily be measured in one entire day. One's net worth can easily be measured in one entire day lived. Whenever one comes across hillbilly, one must pat them without fail. The walls didn't get taller, the room didn't get small. Sure, we no longer wear the uniform when the grief is over, no longer cry more. The truth be told, still want them to come along? The heart got ripped out to be stepped on, and it smelled like death. Maybe it was too much of a good thing. Didn't I spoil them all? Not I got body armor, reaching for the throne once I separate from the fakes. Got a pistol under the pillow. One is protecting the queen. Oh, mother, what do you want to do when love turns into hate, lasting forever? Just apply to see one of us making it. I miss her more than I could remember her, losing coherence, speaking from various points of thought, and images of her glitter around. I can't still remember the words I heard. I still can't remember. I can still remember the first words I heard utter, posing like a ballerina, and Topsy smiles. I'm haunted by beauty. Don't get me wrong, nor misquote my. Don't get me wrong, nor misquote any word. The failings of humanity or the flaws of reality fail to spoil her. If you survive the endurance of transcending, it isn't a single moment that one is blessed with. We completely drained of sin and filled in not only forgiveness, but her heaven that she births with too much ease, and she struts because of it. It isn't the tip of her beauty. We all know that it starts from her mind, finishes throughout this world, taming all wildness. Now I am so grateful to pass my youth lost in love. Taking away, take away, she'll demasculate anyone who refuses or wants to use. Then she will be long gone. You, me, the devil make three, leaning together, filled with sin, shame, regret, remorse. Leaning together, filled with sin, shame, regret, remorse. Our voices speak, meaning nothing. Dry heat, speaking of wanting the end. Cruelest folk songs are always made from the actual reality. That's it.
That's it. describe yourself?
How would I describe myself? I would describe myself as I'm a very go with the flow type of person. I'm very happy-go-lucky. You know, I think ignorance is bliss. Although I feel like sometimes I might be a bit too ignorant with what's happening in life. But I guess that's what keeps me very optimistic and very happy, right? My friends always say, if I was as clueless as you when it comes to what's happening in the world, I'd probably be a much happier person. And I don't think my friends are wrong. I think it's valid to have that kind of aspect when it comes to life. Because like if you're gonna let reality consume you a bit too much, it's really just it clouds your mind a little bit, right? But then again, if you don't live in and comprehend the reality of life, you might be a bit too up in the clouds too many times, So I guess there's got to be a balance in that. But yeah, I'm definitely a very optimistic person because I just try to not get too much in my mind and cloud my judgment. Sorry, mind blank. That's that. Besides from that, what else? Like, life is just good. Like, there's this thing, right? Where like, life just comes in waves, and I just always say, life is good. Like, I just wake up, I just look at myself, and I go, life is great. Life is so good. And then sometimes there's days where I wake up and look at myself, and I'm just like, I'm not feeling like myself, But the thing is, you can't let that consume you. You can't let that decide how your day is gonna be, And I know it's a difficult habit for people to break out of, because I too was once there. But you just gotta remember that you're in control at the end of the day, It's hard at first, but we're all creatures of habit. The more you just practice and do your best and try to rewire your mindset, rewire how your perception of life is, rewire negative to positive, it goes a long way. And then one day a day will come where you just look at yourself and you're just content and you're just happy. Of course, it's not always going to be like that, because, again, life comes in waves, it's a journey. But it's always you just gotta try. You just gotta, if life is not going so well for you, you can't block it off. You gotta feel the emotions. You gotta let that character development moment happen. Because, you don't want to be a blank wall and not go through trials and tribulations. Otherwise, how are you going to have insight? How are you going to build character? How are you going to have authenticity if you don't even know yourself? If you don't even know the different kinds of things that people go through, Yeah. And that's not to say that, people who have lived much more privileged lives and, their perception of trials and tribulations aren't valid. Of course it's valid, Like, for people that may have, speaking in the aspect that, we're in a capitalistic society, for people that have had the privilege to live in, to live a lifestyle that's that's, truly benefited them from this capitalistic society, if their perception of trials and tribulations is, oh, I can't go to Ibiza this weekend because, my dad won't pay for the trip. Sure, that's a valid, that's a valid thing. If you get upset over that, that's fine. But at the same time, it's also valid to, feel like the world is crumbling because you can't be who you are in society, because you can't come out the closet, you can't be true to your identity and to your sexuality, But yeah, like I said, it's all a perception. At the end of the day, I don't know where I'm going with this, but you know what I'm trying to say. You know exactly what I'm talking about. If you don't, well then, one day you will, one day you will. 100%. Yeah. I'm definitely glad I grew up earlier than I should have. Yeah, I definitely had. But it's good. It worked in my favor. That's what's given me insight to life. And a lot of people have always been like, you're so mature for your age. Like, how old are you? Like, you must be like in your mid-20s or like late 20s. And I'm just like, girl, I'm 20. I'm turning 21, And they'd be like, wow, you're so mature, da-da-da-da-da. And I'm just like, I don't really think I'm mature, to be honest. I think I'm very impractical. I wouldn't say I'm immature, but I definitely, I'm very loose, I like to let myself go. I like to just go with the flow. And I love to just do whatever I want, I like to just be a free soul in the world. I don't really like to chain myself up in, societal norms, societal expectations. Because I think it just really takes away the joy of life. The joy of, realizing the fact that this capitalistic society that we have, this is just man-made. Humans, we created this for ourselves. We built the system for ourselves. But that doesn't mean that we can't break away from it. That doesn't mean that we can't, live an alternative lifestyle. Actually, why should it be called an alternative lifestyle? Why is define a lifestyle that's not societal norms? Why does it have to be labeled as alternative? Why can't it also be called normality? You know what I mean? But then again, you gotta look a little bit deeper and realize that it's the people that have created the system, the people that have benefited from the system that are creating these labels and stuff, to continue to ensure that people continue to live by this societal norm that they've created so that they can continue to benefit from it. But yeah, just be free soul. Just do whatever the fuck you want. There's nothing wrong with that. I originally wanted to be a doctor. True story. Because I thought, you know what? I want to be able to help people. And so I did, I got a very bad ATAR in high school. But I still got into my course, medical science. But then Oh, that's adorable. Sorry. No, I don't think people realize how fragile their environments are, you know? It's a constant in humanity. And it seems like every year, as modern era became easier, the development of people, their character, and just who they are in general just came to decline. Oh, that was the first sentence. Sorry. That's adorable. I used to come around to this spot actually. At one point, I think it was a homeless spot. You know, dropping off food. That's adorable. Hi. You know, dropping off food, personal hygiene stuff. You know, it was a fine line between compassion and enabling. Hi, baby. Seems like the dogs also love this spot too. Hi. They don't want to say hi. It's a dog spot now. Okay.
Maybe really.
Marxism, per se. It isn't Marxism or capitalism per se. I would say it's definitely a mix of internal and external. The internalizing search for something to blame. It's, you know, the more I went to my practice, the more I just let myself go to just be in the present, dig deeper to who I am, the more it became apparent. The more it became apparent that people had lived a life that's, you know, without developing, for lack of a better word to say it as, um, you know, people just lived a life without developing a sense of philosophy. And the external, again, for lack of a better word, praise on that. Or even the idea of personal reformation goes unnoticed.
Good show. Hang on. What was it?
Poems of freedom are nothing but restrictive words, blank ink over the white canvas. Wanting clean and pure, Let the devil check me. Human beings as a ghost, priests as godless, prostitutes as spiritual guides. I'm guilty of sin. This is in dedication to my brethren, the light of illumination. Leaders of Iceland, bow your head in shame, aiming for freedom again. The sun may rise daily, but it always sets. Want to be free again? Militant soldiers lead with a blend of intelligence and morals. Those who fell to the lies lost their lives to the wants of the world, fasting and bailing. My peers are on death row, and demons want to see you on your own. No matter the skill, intelligence, or talent, everyone will only do what they're emotionally comfortable with. Unwinding from this uprising of vices, colder than any winter. Hell is dark, but it's hot too. I was at the wrong brothel, twining under the bright lights, feeling better than the chest to chest of a lover. It can be hard to know morals while living amongst vice. Sure, I don't want to die today. Past generations screamed his name in wages of war, turning unthinkable into conceivable reality. Dogma leaves impressions on the naive, altered, exaggerated, changed, added onto, eliminating, creating another world for new generations to be born into. But no God has ever promised people that they will never be offended. I haven't read any declaration, constitution, human rights, articles, no political creed either. The most original person still seems to be lost in their loneliness, while taking true aim, getting to know them, rocking dope beats, they're not lost. The lack of understanding wasn't the problem, but the lack of willingness to do down with you. I don't think that falling into sin will ever change for a better direction. Never saying I am in the right, though we came from the same place, rendered, lust and lies, with people's hands out. I can't blame others for trying to get what they can. I think morality speaks like truth, stemming from meaning. Quiet times, I've been wanting to lose their defects or traits. Besides reflecting, the only thing I've done good is sinning. In our dreams, in our myths, the stories, our art, and the songs we sing is where one can get a start, turning to philosophy. When we notice issues in our when we notice issues in our ideologies is where so many people go wrong, forbidding our complex style of life. You'll have to be gulped by it. They've hit me at home in the same way. They've hit me outside. They hate a fool while they hate a fool while despising someone who's clever, the one who's hated the most. The saint who can't turn away from sin, glaring at it, just to hope it fucking dies. Keeping dope with sex and attention. Thinking one is cool, classless, and social freedom. We can never truly experience all possibilities. At least we can aspire so. It is what I hope for those taking arms to the light of illumination. Magic reality. It exists. As the good die young, we are taking rights. Oh, as the good die young, we are as the good die young, we are open to the entirety of freedom. That too comes along with the utterly disrespected at the same time. Sure, I know some more philosophers had put it out there to be in the ether. It's truly sinful when one can't truly be able to comprehend our own experience, like the waterfall. Through our very hands, it's tragic. I knew my cousin wasn't dope. I knew she made a living being a whore. I got told at times that we had moments of joy expressed in smiles, to compensate for meanings that we never notice. When death comes, I have to go, even though I've been told that I will be held accountable for my sins. As I pulled myself together to commit, then I tried to repent. I guess it's the way things go, and it's okay to be afraid to die. Still, the masses haven't connected fundamentalism and power just by the name of God, a mystery to some, a friend to others, but an enemy for the rest of my life. Bow your head in shame, dedicated to brethren. Dear Lord, a friend to others, but an enemy for the life to the rest. Bow your head in shame, dedicate to brethren. Dear Lord, bless the mystics locked away in penitentiaries. Bless the mystics locked away in penitentiaries, soldiers of the centuries. Like the experiences of life, crossroads are for everyone. I'm going to miss everybody, for what was, forever apart, regardless. Original ideas that speak truthfully, Original ideas that speak truthfully, morality that expands the human value and experience will always start off as some kind of dissent. When did it become irrational to argue, to have dialogue, debate, or discussions? To prevent or stop the efforts of understanding merely don't solely stop understanding itself, but it stops morals, truth, and a better way of living. A tenet of a personal philosophy is always seeking to expand and never do, a sin that hurts culture. Reality won't go anywhere, so even the slightest rift in chance can play to our personal fate. There was strange fruit hanging from those trees as people were streaming. Humanity was so young. Under extreme pressure, under extreme pressure, one volunteers to go under the change of under extreme pressure, one volunteers to go under to change the fate. They could have been somebody. Evil came out of our minds. Exiled from vices, addicted to, won't happen, knowing some will stay hellbound. An endless paradox, still precious, just smile for me now, wishing to be immortalized in pictures. The solution to the war, the reinvention of human life, using the weapon of thy mind, speaking ideas for expansion and criticism, to be open to all satire to it. Complete the book until it's read, question everything, ideology to the cornerstone, refining the flaws, morals are an applicable daily routine. Morals are an applicable daily routine. Personal tolerance to the daily ignorance will kill us, never holding a peer accountable, never taking oneself out of immediate touch of a toxic loved ones. Personal tolerance to the daily ignorance will kill us, never holding a peer accountable, never taking oneself out of the immediate touch of never taking oneself out of the immediate touch of a toxic loved one, never dispersing abundant cash towards nonprofits, never donating books to secondhand stores or libraries, allowing all sectors of education to go to waste, stopping personal growth in the adulthood years, never going for a jog, eating healthy. We tax the fruit shop while complaining about the fast food sector. It's sad. We're all born into a local community. Still, we give into the yearning to have fun away from home, seeking something that seems to be out there. The matrix of itself. Intertwined, it is not only what we do with our time, but to what we care about, what we spend our time thinking over. The word's heart it broke, and sin fell into it. If no one bothers to heal, regardless of what or whose fault it is, the demoralizing effect becomes normal. Our perception will remain fractured, naive, ignorant, and incapable of accepting self action to move towards heaven. A failure to grasp the power of oneself to grow individually and into originality condemns themselves. Moral nihilism doesn't exist. Any culture that both celebrates it or worships it, presenting it in a zealous way, has figured out the interplay between morality and power, which normally filters through economically. The moral matrix has plagued the moral matrix has plagued humanity. Plato wrote about it. Every religion has a fallen humanity story. Each political state has a welfare system. The conflicts between individual desire and community responsibility won't go away. Each new experience brings about a slightly further awareness, new wisdom in all forms of knowledge and experience, new wisdom in all forms of knowledge, new wisdom in all forms of knowledge and intelligence, new morals, and new ways of expressing them and applying, while simultaneously expanding the flaws of human structure and personal character. This is the weakness of humanity. Consciousness, consciousness, personal experience, a place for immortal illumination or waiting in the dark, predatory figures. No clear way to reconcile them both. Startlingly intense movement in vivid silhouette phenom bring up the springs. The theory of everything, it's in your consciousness, conquering nothing. Good versus evil, the oldest myth. Had to get off the boat to walk on the water. Some say your consciousness is all about the illusion is graphics. Some say your consciousness is all that illusion is, graphics. The second coming, dreams. Many things, the quality of your life is thy judgment on you. Even as minute in your daily routine or moment to moment, even the quality of your dreams is judging you. How you feel, your emotions, how to grow, or your ability to do so, judge you are. Perception exists. Whatever advice I have, it will be brief. The self doesn't exist outside the perception of others alone, it's intertwined. Sure, I could be wrong. If perception holds no weight, then your cries of insecurity have no value to me. Reality will cut your tongue of wasting its time listening to you cry. Poetics is not a pagan way of attracting you into any lure, not even beautiful things or holy experiences. You don't have to be violent, all because it's likely they want you to be silent. Thinkers from the underground can spark you to think over the things you were made to forget. The heart of a soldier, raised, not being a part of a nation, not afraid to pull the trigger on an idea. Otherwise, you can pay the full in price. Otherwise, you can pay the price in full. You can murder one, but can't take them all away. Let's trade places. This wisdom is only addictive. It's hard. It says, you know? And at times, being human is throwing your life at destiny while being reminded that while the remain. At times, being human is throwing your life at destiny while the remainder needs some thoughts to it. And sometimes the most revolutionary thing that someone can do for their own life's sake is just by simply doing better. By simply stepping outside your comfort zone and just becoming what you never thought you would become.
Maybe ready.
Philosopher. When one forgets to think for philosophy fails if a person just can't think for themselves. It's always been some kind of order that's constantly prevailed. After a bit, get up. After a bit, it ends up working. after a bit, there's just not an issue that a person can't resolve on their own. There is an issue with it to solve any issues. Right. Yeah, after a bit, there's just not an issue that a person can't solve that they've come across. Okay, sorry.
But
Yeah.
What about anything?
I'll probably just extend on that as well, just to make it.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, like I said before, going through trials and tribulations just builds philosophy amongst people. Like I was saying earlier, I originally wanted to be a doctor, right? Because, I wanted to help people. And I realized that, being a doctor is just one way that I can help people. And then I also thought, when the time comes that I become, wealthy myself, seeing as though we live in a capitalistic world, I just thought to myself, I can also help people that way, And that's when I dived into music, acting. And even though, the odds are, oh my goodness, the chances of getting to that milestone, to that stepping stone, to just that level where you can actually help people, the chances are very much, I wouldn't say against you. That's a very, although that's a very realistic approach, you never know. You never know. And you just gotta keep an open mind, and you just gotta keep going with the flow. And so yeah, I didn't continue with wanting to be a doctor, didn't go to university. Instead, I just went straight into the entertainment industry and just, pursued my goals, pursued my dreams, and now we're here, you know? And it's moments like those that really, like I said, that builds philosophy in people, that builds character. Like, we just really need to go through situations, go through things, go through life, really, and just flow with the journey and just let ourselves go with what life has to give us to experience and what life has to give us to offer, because you never know. You don't know what you just never know what's going to come your way. You don't know what opportunities you're going to get. You don't know what lessons you're going to learn. You don't know who you're going to meet, Who knows? Like, one day you could be just, you might think that no one's watching you. You may think that the things you put out there, the art that you create, it's true, pulling you, then pushing you out. It seems like he does what you want him to do, distracting you from where your heart lies, even though the saints say he's no good for you, like it's all good for your soul. But does he know you cry out when he sleeps? Does he know that you cry late at night? Does he know that you call when he's distracted, or the reasons that you cry or where your heart lies? Even though your friends know that he isn't the one for you, and that you secretly crave for someone else to come along for you, when you cry internally late at night, I'll keep you secretly quiet. Because it seems like he is the one to keep you distracted from growth and guilt. But does he know that you tell me all your secrets? Does he notice where your knees point to match your feet? Does he know that you think he isn't competent to have adult conversations? It's the story of your life. Sorrow in your soul, searching for the stoicism of tamed wildness. And it kills you inside that you don't want to do it anymore. Every so often, seeing you die a little more inside. Your therapist feels it in the air. Hanging with the girls, venting in the whispers. Isn't being accountable as adults? Heartbreak has been told by Jane Austen already. Don't you know that poets make a living from heartbreak? It seems like your guy doesn't know that you've turned down that soulmate already. Because at that moment, you weren't feeling that. Telling yourself you didn't seem like that. Does he know you defend him to the girls? As we all know already, that the guy you're with seems to understand you. The perpetual Peter Pan has been running away from it all, always in a state of failing grasping womanhood. Does he know that I know you're unfaithful? That you will be happy with the other you've turned away? Love remains a myth when it hopes that it comes along. Love remains a myth when it hopes that it will come along. Shivering at the void one has, shivering at the thoughts. Hourglass will let you know. Blessed to know, here to rise. The tragedy is a gift to the rest to learn. Nothing will know, eternal bless. About it to know. You're alone, all alone. The end isn't near, but you've passed your prime. Can't have children. Born again virgin won't absolve anything. Killing moths over flames. Go forward. I see you, you see me. I'm a peasant. At this moment, you control me. Your vision board has failed you. Drop emotions like how you drop acid. Sirens to replace the beat of your heart, and you never got far. As the sighs aren't deep kisses. As the sighs aren't deep kisses. You've been here before, so this isn't new. The damage is done, so I guess I'll be leaving as your dilemma is bending over the horizon. The sun is gone. The light has left you, just like the moon, standards upon others while you claim, happily avoidance in ethics, giving you certain glares, a simple yawn from me. But it can wake you. You know why? Yes, I know. I listened. I listened to all your secrets. Yes, I know. It's hypnotic. The purity of a woman is known in every nation. The blood of it won't be wasted at dawn. The abundance of speech of colorful words, speaking of past memories of a varied life, developed an exotic form, not of a figure of phantoms of myths. We are all beyond the command of one another. Opportunities don't come every day. We should hear the cries of the poets when they first start reciting. Life is changing. It will outgrow your aging body. Don't you know that the meek will inherit? And no, you cannot have standards of redemption. Anguish in a woman's inside, where babies are, tones of four themes. Something to measure the end of the world for, and I am not sleepy. I shouldn't confine that I can summon you at will to abstractly lay in poetry, saving life. A yearning for sentimental overflow. You aren't mine, so I will not toil for your heart. It's not worth the burden. I can find beauty in art, and everyone can offer sex. Jesus is a carpenter. I give him credit for what is brought to the table. I crave morality, virtue, and something holy, something free of sin. Abandoning my sin, vanity, or ego pride, I demand of myself to leave this vice land. Influenced by angels, I'm so-called a tyrant-like, unbarely breathable, unable to lie. So I keep two Rottweilers by my bed when I sleep. Dear Lord, I see visions of my final state, like I no longer exist, addicted to poetics, and I've been going since, aching in vain. My heart this time is for liberty. I won't hurry to death. Shed too many tears already. I see death around the corner. It is my destiny to die. Surely it feels like no one understands until we trade places. Still don't know how to completely redeem me, to have my sins forgiven. I don't know what it was. I'm guilty of being anxious, and I'm still breathing. Want to make it my own. Living in peace along with contentment. Yearning for originality is so lonely. And I'm not sorry for not always being there. Bodies dropping. I can't be addicted from moment to moment. So no, I don't want to say hello. No, I don't want to get to know you. I don't want to talk back or meet you anywhere. I can see those stretch marks around the belly. Shouldn't you be home with your child? I don't want to let go and be relaxed. It won't amount to anything. I don't validate anyone. It's not my fault life had moved on, and accountability seems so new to you. I've been told forgetting makes too long, so I want no moment of love found. It's nothing lost. No, I haven't lost my humanity. Silver can't dress up for gold. For years to have self-respect, and at worst, should have standards to match hers. That's what happened, and the truth is stranger than fiction. Who would have known the veils dropped? Yeah, I noticed. But does he know that keeping you small just kept wanting you more? Oh, it seemed like harmless at that moment. Oh, it seemed so harmless at that moment. There are no martyrs in love, and there was a hunger. And I know that you hate that I know morals can't let go, so I won't let go. We live in the moment, thinking no one ever notices. Does he know what it takes for anyone to heal from trauma? And when mortals touch the love that's holy, it ambushes the soul with fire? And didn't you know that most guys follow through with the first yes uttered by any woman? And you know that I know. You've never felt worse, so that's how you see yourself. Because it seems like he's good for you, even though your friends say he's not the one for you. Does he know the reasons for your therapy? That you even truly lie? Don't go too far, he seems like he's the one good for you. Solving the others seems so truly right, and no longer feels worthwhile. In pursuit of happiness, it never ends. Isn't it too late? Aren't we too old to be in a state of liberating adolescence? Look at you, making no noise. Let the poets do the whip. Let's roll. Certainly, beauty highlights the ugly. We can marvel at whip. Making a grip requires no love at all. The messianic stage of development means nothing with prior works, and it's all too easy to live out in addictive hedonism. Love isn't for the future, but for reproduction is needed. I want to know how it feels. Just know it doesn't hurt me if I had fallen. We'll make a deal with God. Come on, darling. Come on, angel. Open your eyes. Let me breathe the soul out, for I'm far too gone. Too much myself. I have found the spark of originality. I fear no woman's touch. It won't soothe anything. For me, I'm okay with the loneliness. To take charge of me entirely belongs to another. Always in another. So I say it right. I want everything from this life. Everything belongs to another. Oh, everything. I saw the other side through the eyes of another. This is where I'll go. Anyone else? By process of elimination, it is all ugly. It was written that God doesn't look at it. It felt like I was glowing, surpassing illumination. I had transcended into another world where there are no vices. And no, you don't have to practice speech. I know now that I am without. Got to open my eyes to eternity. There is no boy like the ones anxious about his virginity, as to no ugliness as she could perform than loving a toxic man. They say slow it down. Not right now. But I tore myself away and chased transparent freedom. The truth has blessed me and demanded right now to expand it all. So I am pulling virtue closer, telling the mortality of it all. We got to go. And that's it. This you are.
Oh, hang on. Move out of the way.
Bon appetit.
Whatever.
Just gotta replenish, Creative work is always so
It's a bit exhausting, isn't it? Yeah. An hour feels like 3 or 4
Yeah.
and stuff. Yeah.
But it's fun. It's very rewarding.
Smells good. I can do that.
You want to buy?
No, I'm vegetarian, so.
Oh.
No, thanks for
I love
asking.
that.
Yeah. Done that purposely to kind of, for people to read. So.
Slay. Really don't like having chatty drivers.
Yeah.
That's that. That is life. That was good. Man, she's shopping for a whole village.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, it's definitely what I'll do. Go home, watch a movie, relax, and then do something.
So whereabouts in Frenchsburg do you live?
Because I know there's Forest Way, Forestville, and then French's Forest.
Yeah.
Or maybe the whole area was, it's just segmented into different places with the word forest in it. Yeah. But it's fun. I like it. It's a change of scenery, you know, seeing as though I used to live in the city.
Yeah, very suburbia of it, yeah.
Suburban, very private, very quiet, immersed in nature, and I like it.
Yeah.
It's good stuff. So that's that.